And Ottawa is announcing a new housing strategy that revamps a Second World War-era plan to speed up the pace of home building in Canada. CTV's Colton Prale is standing by in Ottawa and joins us live now with the latest. Colton, good to see you. So what is the Liberal government proposing? What are the timelines here? Give us the details.
They're talking about revitalizing and redesigning the wartime housing design portfolio. This was something that was used in the 50s, a catalog, excuse me. This is something that was used in the 50s and the 70s in that baby boom era where we had so many people needing housing. There was also mass immigration at a time, and the housing supply wasn't there for them. So what the federal government did was it created a catalog of already approved homes that could be built, that were up to building code. They met the CMHC standards and could be built rather quickly and efficiently. The federal government now is looking back at those old plans, blowing the dust off a bit and saying, we're in a housing crisis as well. Why don't we turn back to this idea? It's going to look a little different. Rather than the single-family homes that we saw being built in the 50s and 70s, these are going to be new multiplexes. They're going to be mid-rises, student housing, seniors housing. That's what the government is hoping will come out of consultations that are set to begin in January. Those consultations will then go towards the creation of blueprints. They expect those to be ready by fall of 2024. And if everything goes to plan, we could see homes getting built shortly after that. The end of 2024 into 2025 is when we could see construction begin on some of these projects. And the basic theory is that all of this speeds up the process. It not only cuts time on needs for designs or architecture, it also cuts costs on those areas as well, but it ensures that these designs meet the requirements for funding so that developers can get funds from the CMHC in a more expeditious manner. It also ensures that these designs are available to builders at a small fee or potentially even nonprofit developers at a small fee who can then use this for affordable housing. The hope is that it'll also dovetail with the Housing Accelerator Fund and the pressure that the government has put on municipalities to change their zoning regulations to allow 4 units per lot without having to rezone said lot. The idea behind all of that is that if there's a fourplex in this design catalog, that can suddenly start getting built in municipalities a lot quicker with a little less red tape. The challenge that they're going to face and the big issue behind all of this is twofold. One, it's the timeline. This isn't going to start until likely 2025 when we start seeing shovels and grounds and the benefits of all of this. So there's still that housing supply crunch that Canada is under. But the other challenge that the government is going to face here is really a production issue. They talked a lot about wanting these homes to include panelization. It's another way of saying prefabricated materials. So potentially you could have walls, floors, roofs, ceilings all built in advance. But that takes a lot of resources, and it also means you need to have an effective supply chain building those resources. And once you have the designs, that's easy to create, but it doesn't exist currently in Canada. So if this is going to be successful, it means really improving the supply chain and ensuring that the labor needed to build all these homes in the time frame that the government wants to do it is available. And that's part of something that really hasn't been tackled. They mentioned that it would be part of the consultations they're doing in January, but really we're talking about upscaling the ability to produce in our country. And in the 50s and 70s, manufacturing and production was something that Canada was quite good at. We are not where we were decades ago. And so the gap to get back there, the gap to ensure that we can actually meet the need is quite large compared to where it was in the post-war era. Canada needs 3.5 million homes by 2030, according to the CMHC. It's unclear how many homes are going to come out of this project, but certainly unlikely that it's going to bring us to that threshold.
Yeah, so still some work to do, of course, and as you say, that construction could begin in the next few years. Okay, CTV's Colton Prale reporting live for us. Thanks, Colton.